All right, should be live. Sorry to keep you waiting. I am having some issues with my microphone, which is really hitting the red lines here. A little bit of weirdness going on with my setup this morning. I don't even think it's actually the. There we go. That should be. Nope, that's still pretty loud. Okay, so it should be sounding okay. I have no idea if I am or not, because I'm not one of those professionals who actually like put headphones on and listens to the things that they're supposed to be listening to. Good morning, welcome. It is Friday. We are going to tackle a a variety cryptic from the listener. We had pretty good luck last week with a fairly decent cryptic. Pretty good and enjoyable. By the way, last night saw the D&D movie, and I would highly recommend, especially if you are a D&D fan. This was the perfect D&D movie in every way that the first D&D movie was not. From the monsters to the story to just everything. Just absolutely fantastic. I'm going to wait a few minutes, let everyone sort of trickle in after getting the notice that I've gone live. Uh, and I'm going to put this on Heidi. Hello, Hologro. For some reason, I'm having an issue with my mic. I don't think this is the actual mic that it's supposed to be. I don't know why. Because I can see it's not lit up. Um, oh, wait. I think I figured out why. All right, let's see if this works a little bit better. I'm gonna try to. I don't know if I can do this sort of change. No, because that's. Good morning, Jungler. So I think because of the way that this works, because I'm now streaming, I don't think I can change the microphone, which is unfortunate. Good morning, Arch Davidson. All right, so now with all that technical foofara out of the way, how do I sound? Do I sound okay? Should I not keep going? Because I can always hop back out and hop back in. And then that will, I think, allow me to, let me not crinkle the cracker wrapper. That would probably be a good idea. All right, let's go ahead and pull you up. This is listener 4719. Good morning, Romacron. Excellent, excellent. So what's going to happen is I'm going to read the preamble. After I read the preamble, I'll go through the cross clues and then the down clues. If you think that you know the answer to a clue, type G in the chat, and I will decide whether or not I want to ask for hints. And if you think that you might have cottoned onto the theme, just hold on to it until we're kind of through the first pass of the puzzles. Uh, don't spoil the theme. Um, you can type G theme, but I would like to try to. I usually don't think about the theme until we are much later in. I'm just like a big barrel of cacophonies today. Um, and then if you are looking ahead and say, for example, you think that you know 39 down, you're not looking at 39, you're not looking at the right puzzle, but do try to wait until we actually get to clues before you say that you've got them. Good morning, T. McKay. Welcome to Friday. All right, let's go ahead and read this preamble. What's My Line by Hawk. In 22 clues, a letter is misprinted. The correct letters spell two grid locations. Solvers must draw two straight lines, leaving letters legible along these locations, and 10 more joining paired letters therein to show a thematic instruction. Each of the series of clashes must be replaced with a third letter, making new words to spell an associated name. In two clues, the definition refers to the answer, entered normally, with an added application of the construction. Well, that's unusual. Chambers Dictionary is the primary reference. All right. So 22 clues, misprinted letter. And we have a total of 26 across, 20 down. So 24 normal clues. 50-50 chance roughly. Slightly worse than 50-50 chance that there's a misprint in the clue. A lot of across clues, by the way. I mean, I was stunned by how many more across clues there are than downs. All right. Doubly railed And I think I might know what the theme might be, but it would be, I think that's just because I'm looking at it from an American lens. Pretty sure that's probably not going to be the case, though. Doubly railed, where to plot older plants. Uh, let's see. Doubly railed. So I feel like in this case, I mean, rails could be L's or R's, like railroaded. Should warn you, my stomach is doing all sorts of fun, crazy things. Um, the older plants is what gets me. I feel like it's going to be an old word for plants, as in planting, but beyond that, I'm not really seeing it. Let's try the next one. Fancies whiskey short after retiring at all. Fancies whiskey short. So, I mean, whiskey here could be rye, which would be RY. At all might be ever, so it could be reverie. Yeah, about half the clues would have misprints. It could be reverie with a Y instead of an IE, which I'm not familiar with as a spelling of it, but it is the listener, and they do use chambers, and reverie is in fact a fanciful notion, archaic. So yeah, it is in fact reverie. And I don't think that there's anything here extra, so it's been a while since we've had to do two different formats, but we're going to use two different formats here. And then reverie is going to come in here. I do like the idea that this might be reverse up here with this ending ES over here. Lacks professionals observed endless amount of pressure. I feel like it's going to actually be tax professionals. Observed endless amount of pressure. I feel like this wants to be a unit for pressure. And it's going to be observed might be saw, endless would be SA, and then no, because I think the what are the units of pressure? Pascal. That is the standard unit of pressure. Newton, I thought Newton might be one. Then there's atmospheres, torr, milliliters of mercury. There's a number of them. I kind of want it to be like tax professionals. That's going to give us a three letters. Good morning, Evan Badger. That's going to give us a three-letter abbreviation. Then SA for observed, and then that's going to give us our amount of pressure. Good morning, alchemist. But I'm not seeing it, so let's go to the next one. English backed premium Irish tool hire. I want that to be took. Well, I want it to be took fire, but that's not going to work. It's going to be two different English backed premium. So I feel like that is going to be. It's like EI plus a four-letter word for premium backwards. Or it could be English behind a four-letter word for premium, then I for Irish, or IR for Irish. Tool. Lacks professional's amount of pressure has an answer with a clue misprint if you read it as a three. That's kind of funny. I mean, it could be that the observed endless goes with the amount of pressure. Like we could be looking for a three on the amount of pressure, and then as tax professionals is the five. But I'm not seeing this one as well. Good, awesome, off to an awesome start. Box full of junk in moat? Question mark. Team K's got janglers. Kind of want this to be boat. Box full of junk. I'm not sure. This is not good. Okay. Establish herd by Atacama Desert. I want it to be made because it's in Atacama Desert, and that would be established. How can we change herd by? Held by. How about held by? So there we go. That's our first weird clue. That is 15. And that's going to be made. A number of people got that as well, Jangler and Team McKay. All right. Hire Tesla to follow men in East London. So Tesla is a T as a unit. I'm not sure what the men in East London might be. I feel like that is a specific like there's probably a specific word that people in East London use for men, like I go, I pause, like that. And then higher would be our definition, although it could be obviously with one letter change, a number of other things. So I'm not seeing that one, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure the T is the last letter, though, which would make 10 down most likely Yeti's. But we'll see. 17, American man in Revolution, imprisoned by King of England in children's game. American man in Revolution. So children's game is probably our definition. And then we're putting something inside ER, but it's like backwards. Could game be something else? Could game be name, for example? Gate. Gaze. What are some 6-letter children games? There's Red Rover, I Spy, Hide and Seek, Tag, It, Dodgeball. We used to call it Blood back in high school. Back in elementary school and junior high, we used to call it Blood Ball because people would just get really nasty with the balls. But it was fun. I loved it. I was really good at it. I was surprisingly sly. People were always surprised by that. All right, let's go with the next one. Density draws less pressure in clouds. Density draws less pressure in clouds. Clouds is probably our definition. And I want it to be D for density, and then some word for draws minus the letter P. Which would mean we'd be looking for a 5-letter word for draws that contains a P. Um, like pulls. Yeah, I think it's pulls for draws, minus the P is ulls, plus the D is dulls, and that would be a good definition of clouds. All right. Lord in ecstasy, round companion. Well, ecstasy is E, round is O. But I don't think that's it. Companion's probably our definition. I want it to be like pal or something like that. I mean, it'd be kind of funny if this were a triple clue. So, like, companion could be pal, round could be lap, but then there would be no reason to reverse it, would there? I'm just being stupid. And I'm not seeing anything that might be changeable. I mean, round could be changeable to sound. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. My stomach is doing fun things today. All right, let's try the next one. Does engraved silver trophy not include title holder's initials contrarily? Okay. So contrarily, I mean, trophy not include title holder's initials means that I think we're looking at ROPY. Contrarily means that we're going to look at that backwards, YPOR. Silver would be AG. Which when you're looking at a word like Ajapor, which I'm pretty sure is not a word. Iporga, yeah, that's not a word. Jangler's got 20, so I'm doing probably something very wrong. Uh, Not sure on the letter change. I mean, am I right that it's trophy minus th is part of the clue? Oh, and it's only 5 letters. I'm sorry. Like pyros feels like you could get that out of what you've got there. I'm just not sure. I mean, prosy is also possible. You don't have trophy minus th being involved. Okay. Tints. Silver trophy not include title holder's initials. Contrarily would be tints. So, I mean, maybe it's dies engraved. Dots engraved. According to Chambers here, and I'm just going to pull this up here and show everyone. One of the definitions involves engraved dots, which is, I think, meant to be like, there's a name for it. I forget the name for it. But like shading in comics was sometimes done using these dots as opposed to actual color. So you'll just have like fewer dots basically providing the hint. But that is going to be a T, and that is tense. And thank you for the help there, Jangler. That is looking horrible. All right, watercolorist, briefly try crooked braid. Watercolorists, briefly try crooked braid. So briefly try is probably TR. Crooked sounds like it's an anagram indicator, but that would give us too many letters. So I feel like what's going on is that crooked braid is something else. Um, like there's a word that means crooked braid, and it would have to end with an S, I think, because I want watercolorist to give us to be our definition. So we're looking at TR blank 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 S. Oh, sorry. Let me try crossword clue. Crooked braid. Let's see if anything comes up. Yeah, nothing for that. So crooked braid doesn't seem to be anything specific. All right, I'm going to try the next one. In guarded zone, most of ward receives shocking treatment. So most of ward would be WAR. Shocking treatment, I'm guessing, is some are some initials for like electroshock therapy in Britain, but I'm not sure if that would just simply be like EST. It implies that Westar is our word here, even though I don't know what that would be, and it's not in the dictionary, so never mind. Um, this is one where I think because I'm not British, I would not know what the shocking treatment here is. I don't think guarded zone. And of course, we might be replacing ward as well. Like we might, it could just simply be a different, like it could be word or hard, like harbor. Guarded zone would be a harbor. Could RBO be like some British thing for, let's see, what, if it was, RBO would probably be in chambers. No, it's not. Okay, never mind. It was a nice thought. ECT, you think? Okay, well, hectare um, would not be a thing. Wecton. It's good to know that it's ECT. I'm just not seeing the rest of the clue, unfortunately. So I'm going to go on to the next one, I think. Hologram may have this one. Okay. Hologram, are we changing a letter in ward? Nectar is the only thing. Nectar is the only thing I think that works with ECT in there. Is it using ECT as the shocking treatment? All right. Protected. What do you have? Let me just ask what you have because I have a feeling this is going to be a long one. Sector. Let me see if Chambers has that as a guarded area. Yeah, it does have it as. So I'm guessing that we need to change something in ward to make it so that it's SOR blank. And the only words I can think of for soar would be soar and sort. Um, word. I feel like I'm missing. I think sorb is something. Sora, which is a razor, short-billed rail. Sorb, to absorb. So I have sword as a form of sward. It's not working. Nothing under sword is striking my. And it would have to be. No, it would not have to be any of those. Sorry. Sore can be hard. There we go. Thank you for the help there, Jangler. Or sorry, Hologram, not Jangler. Thank you for the help there, Hologram. This is looking really ugly, isn't it? I don't remember it saying anything about clashes in the. I mean, I remember it said something about clashes. but I'm guessing that there's got to be something here because this is, I'm fairly confident in all these, and these are not looking good at all. So the crossing entries might not be entirely accurate. Old letter to enclose in growth hormone for a little horse, perhaps. Old letter would probably be ETH or EDH. I'm sorry, EDH. But that's about as much as I can get out of this one. Not even sure where the split is. I mean, it could be hormone for a little horse. Could be horse, perhaps. Um, it could be like old letter to enclose in growth hormone for a little, and you're replacing growth hormone with little. I don't know. I'm all over the place with this one. Disease carrier, prescribe regular cycling. So I feel like this is going to be tsetse somehow. Uh, I want this to be, yeah, I want this to be prescribe and regular both define set, and if you're cycling set, you're going to get tsetse. All right, butcher waits for fillet, and I'm guessing that we're changing a letter in weights so that the anagram of it is fillet, and I think I'm missing a bar. Yeah, there we go. I mean, fillet I is steak. Fillet. I'm sorry, I should be saying it like the Brits do. Fillet. Um, I'm not seeing anything in there that really helps. Butcher waits for fillet. It could be stria, maybe? Stria is kind of ugly, but it does put a lot of vowels in good places there. I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with. You can all tell me I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with stria, which I think should work. Okay. Chief takes part in libation. Chief takes. I mean, this feels like it's going to be a hidden. I don't think there's a way to change anything in chief to get a new word, and I'm not sure if there's anything in that you can change in libation. Unless bat is chief somehow. I'm not seeing anything in here. All right, no, I'm not going to go with that. All right, damn approach that succeeded for Republican. That is assuming that anybody being tried for crimes is just simply being attacked by a weaponized government. All right, damn approach that's succeeded for Republican. I want there to be a replacement of S for R, obviously. And I kind of want it to be darn instead, or dame. I like dame because it puts a vowel, it makes it gives us an E to use here. I think it's going to be a word that means approach that's 5 letters long that contains the letter R. We change the R to an S and we get a word that means dam, or dame. And not coming up with it. Okay. Deserted department after copier abruptly hummed. So I want it to be copper instead. And it's actually like CU for copper, but abruptly, so it's just the C, which is really weird. Deserted department feels like it wants to give us DT, but I don't think that is going to work at the end of a word. I could be wrong. Oh, unless there's a repartment. It could also be that we're changing, like, it could, one of the letters in copier could be changed. Um, we're taking off the last letter, putting a D after it. And then T could be part of the wordplay that it was talking about. Or like, because in two clues, there's got to be some sort of like the definition refers to the answer entered normally with an added application of the construction, whatever that means. Stephen Saw has an idea for 32. We'll come back to that one, I think. Hum definitely seems like it's going to be our definition. All right, off to the next one. Irish mobs typically concealed shed from Spanish lady. So, kind of want it to be Donna, which would be a good word for Spanish lady. I kind of want it to be like Irish moss, maybe. But no, not seeing this. Okay, 38. Sorry, I'm not getting many of these. This is a tough one. Primate twice changing uniform to one or another. Primate twice changing uniform to one or another. Kind of want it to be a four-letter primate. Or maybe private. Private would work. Twice would be dual, maybe. Trying to think of how the U comes into it, because U is uniform is U in the NATO phonetic alphabet. Really, what I want is a word that is for primate that has two U's in it, and you're changing both of them, and you're going to get something that means one or another. All right. Report of trench mortar, possibly a weight on newsman's shoulder. So I kind of want this to be trench to French. And whatever the French word for mortar is, or French mortar, maybe that's something specific. Like RT, I guess, is, and then report of means that you're, I don't think so. I have a feeling that what we're looking for is the name of whatever you call the camera up here. All right. 40. Hawk primarily roaming deep ravine for lizard. So lizard is probably our definition here. It could be wizard. I would like it to actually be wizard so we could do shaman. Hawk primarily, H. Roaming deep ravine. I mean, I can't imagine that a saman would be a deep ravine. You never know. A saman is a rain tree, actually, so that doesn't work. Maybe it's a lizard that does have an H in it. The only lizard that I can think of that's 6 letters is a goody. It's just a fun word. And roaming. I'm not sure what roaming here would be. As opposed to just in. Like maybe deep ravine is a word that is 6 letters long that has an H, and the H roaming just means it's moving around in the word. Chasm is the only thing I can think of for deep ravine that would have an H in it, and that's not the right length. Trench is the other one, which I don't think would be. Can't imagine that there's a thrink lizard. But you never know. There's a threne, which is another word for threnody, I guess. Um, okay, off to the next one. Maid's note replacing priest's last letter. Maid's note replacing priest's last letter. So I think this is going to be maid as our definition. We're going to have a note that replaces the last letter of a priest. So like if the priest were Eli, then we change that I to one of the solfeggio notes, maybe. Or we just change it to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And it could, of course, maid is a good one to have letters change. We'd be looking for, oh no, we're looking for a 5. So first of all, we're looking for a 5, not a 4. Which means it could be like a 4-letter priest and replacing it with a 2-letter solfeggio. I'm not seeing this one either. All right. Endless job fencing last month's chickens. All right, so I think this is molt. Last month is ultimo or ult. Yeah, I think it's actually post, not job. Like its job is cluing post, and then that's going to give us pulse. Executed gang member mostly implicated in heroin trading, essentially. So heroin is H, trading is D. I want mostly implicated to go inside H and D, but then I'm not sure what executed gang member might be. I mean, that's just a weird thing to define something. We'd be looking for a 5-letter word for implicated, like named or something like that, and dropping off the D, which we're essentially picking up then in trading. Okay, on to the downs. I think this might be the toughest listener we've done in a while. Stop making old Moravian search arcade. Kind of want it to be arcane, and then we're going to anagram search to reflect the arcane nature of it. But if it's stop making, then I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you could get a search to anagram into something that would be the end of a 7-letter word. That would be stop making. It's easy to get arches out of it, and then that's just the end of a 7-letter word. But that would be a present tense verb and not would not Agree with. Good morning, MZest. Would not agree with stop making. Okay, cartwheels kill in the trenches. I want wheels here to be OO, and I want kill to be fill. So we'd be looking for a word for cart that contains two O's. And the trenches are the front line. This whole thing has a trainway or subway or like rail lines feel to it. And this is the second inclusion of trenches in here. So like maybe it's like a French World War II battle. All right. I'm gonna try a Hail Mary here for cart with two O's in it. I got scooter, which is not the right length. Yeah, that's not working. All right, let's try the next one. Ignore laughter when ordering Bacardi in foreign lingo. Ignore laughter when ordering Bacardi in foreign lingo. Ignore daughter. Arabic. It's Arabic. Oh, thank God. So it's an anagram of Bacardi minus the D for daughter. Having uncovered nostrils restored lung harmony. So I want this to be sung harmony. And I want airs to go inside of it. Because nares are nostrils. So if you uncover them and take off, you either take off both sides and you're left with ARE, or you take off just the front and you're left with ARES. And I think that's going to go in a word that means restored. What is another word for sung harmony? Something ized. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm fairly certain I have the parse of this. I just can't figure out the actual word. I really want it to be like the ARE is going to go up here because it looks really good following these letters. But without having more of the restored or harmonized, I don't think we're gonna get it. Texan remounts island without heating when Queens returned. So I want heating to be heading, and it's going to be we're going to take a word for island or a type of island. We're going to get rid of the first letter, and then we're going to remount it. So we're turning it over. When Queens returned, I don't know what the Queens returned is. But then essentially we're then going to have a Texan. Like that's the word here is Texan. Maybe it's Texan remounts. And like the reason it's Texan is because we have to go with the American spelling for a word. It would make sense. So if it's remounts, then it's probably going to start with RE for the first two letters, which would give us the Queen's Return portion of it. And I want it to end with S. So for island, it would have to be blank S blank blank M. The problem is there's no reason to put Queen's Returned on top. So I feel like there's still something missing. All right, on to the next one. Rue breaking first class string instrument. So string instrument is probably our definition. Rue could be a letter change, like Q, for example. First class could be a number of different things, but nothing's coming to mind. Uh, Trying to think of a five-letter stringed instrument that has A as the third letter. All I can think of is viola and rebec, and I don't even think a rebec is it. A mati is a stringed instrument, specific violin. A1 would be first class. How can we get mat out of rue? Rug. It's rug. And it is, in fact, a mati. All right. Most Republican leaning Democrat departs in a stubborn fit, according to Carnegie. So, most Republican reading would be reddest. Democrat departs in a stubborn fit. How does the rest of this work? According to Carnegie. I feel like it wants to be an anagram of some sort, but it doesn't really work. Could that be a Scottish indicator? Could be. I mean, maybe redest is, or dreadest, maybe. Because the weird thing is that despite the fact that redest has two Ds, I feel like what it's indicating is that D is leaving whatever our fodder is. All right, I'm just going to put down question mark because I don't know exactly what it is, but it's definitely reddest is the definition. Islamic leader largely repressing but ignoring British uproar. So now this is one where I'm pretty sure there's nothing that's going to match that search pattern, which feels really weird to me, but it did suggest that there are some clashes in the grid. Uh, Actually, no, I'm sorry. Emuete is a popular rising or uproar. So there we go. Let's see. Islamic leader would be an emir. So largely means that we're going to ignore the last letter. So that's EMEE. Repressing, but ignoring British. So it's but minus the B, that's the UT, and then that gives us uproar. So that is a normal clue. Ejecting regulars sell pub as not a solvent, as not solvent. So I think this is going to be eluent with the L and the A clashing because it's every other letter of it's a liquid used for elution. It's every other letter of sell pub as not. And I don't think that we need to change any letters here, but this is now going to be L or A. We'll go ahead and make this smaller. There we go. Cross-border corporations participating in risky test. Cross-border corporations participating in risky test. So I think this is going to be a hidden. I think it's going to be inside risky tests. I want it to end with the S, but I don't know if kites is cross-border corporations. A paunch or belly. I have a hard time believing that that's actually the correct. So the question is, what could it be? Kipes is a hook. Kyles are straights. Whole bunch of things under kite, but nothing really seeming like it's matching the definition. And I think it can't really be. Corporation is a slang term for paunch, apparently. Okay. I wonder if the cross border is one of the clues. I'm going to put this as the yellow clue then. I'm going to put this as one of our two clues that has something unusual going on it. Because I think this cross border here doesn't apply to the things. And look at this. This is kind of weird. This has to be up here. What is going on with this one? Okay, so K and Y go in there. Y, T, E. What I kind of want is that this is actually going to be like outside the grid or something, but we'll see. All right. 13, which is going to be right here. Gill and Prudence, diminished English side of Britannia. Gill and Prudence. I'm not sure who Gill and Prudence are. I want them to be police something. British police. Gill, Prudence. Maybe just Prudence, maybe Gill gets changed somehow. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Diminished English side of Britannia. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm pretty sure it starts police, but I just can't figure out the rest of it. Party insurance 22. That's going to be over here. We have the last letter S. Yay. Um, Party insurance supporting opening of coconut shies. So opening of coconut is C. Supporting means that C is going to go over party insurance. And then we're going to get a word meaning shies, or more likely, we're going to get a word meaning like skies or styes or something like that. And not seeing it. Okay. Dough that is in topless types of loaf. So that is i.e. in topless. So we're going to put it in some sort of word that we're taking the first letter off of. Types of loaf. And it's going to start with R-E. And we're probably going to get something that is like a. I want it to be like a word for money. Arch might have 24. Arch, is my parsing of it correct so far? Types of loaf. Good morning, Neil Mew. So we'd be looking for a 6-letter word for types of loaf. So like breads. I feel like breads would be it. Readies. Readies is dough. Ready is like a slang word for money in Britain. I don't know why. Like ready cash. And I don't think that we need any change there. So that should be it. Thank you for the help there. Yeah, I didn't realize that it could be a plural either, but that seems to work with what we've got. Reiterated unfulfilled desire to climb palm tree. And this is 26, so this is going to be over here. So it's ending with a U, which is kind of weird. Reiterated unfulfilled desire. Kind of wanted it to be grew. Like it's reiterated, so we're going to do the same thing twice. Urge is desire. Unfulfilled means that we're going to not end it, so it's just URG. Climbing would reverse it. And I think grew would be correct. So I'm going to look up grew. Not grew. Grew is in fact a palm. And no change there, I think. All right. Scots snarled as circled by honey possum. So AS is going to go inside a word or something else for like AS, because that would be an easy thing to change. 4-letter word for honey possum. That is a specific thing, and I forget what exactly it is. It's like a cute little. It's also called the Nullbanger. It's a tiny little animal. But I'm not seeing another name for it, unfortunately. I feel like I need to show people what it looks like. There we go. Cute. Okay. Uh, as circled by honey possum. I mean, it'd be kind of funny if it were like honey, a word for honey playing possum. In other words, it's on its back playing dead. And that would just be nasty. We're looking at 27, so we actually do have like the A and T for this, so we should be able to get this. And yet we don't. Okay. Serve defunct bar to brace a Zambezi dam. That's going to be this 29 over here. Serve defunct bar to brace. So we're probably looking for an archaic word for serve. And then we're going to take a word for bar and it's going to brace. I mean, I'm not sure what a Zambezi dam is. I'm assuming that is a specific word in Zambezi for dam. There's the Kariba Dam. Bessie is the nickname. Oh, that's the nickname for the river. I'm sorry. So Kariba's not going to work because it's not going to fit the crossing there. Well, actually, let me think about that for a moment because maybe it will. No, I don't think so. It would have to be like bar going into key to give us kibari. And it's Kariba. It's not even Kabari. It's Kariba. All right, never mind. Okay, adjustment of rug, leaving transformation. And this is going to be 30. We've got a T here. Adjustment of rug, leaving transformation. So I'm guessing adjustment is our definition. And rug is going to leave a longer word meaning transformation. Transfiguring. Right. Cost of hat with special edging. Cost of hat with special edging. So special edging is SL, but that's not going to really help us here. It could be that SS is going to go on the outside of something for hat. We have S and P. So S and P could be special, and I think maybe that's what it is. So SP is going around something for hat. And then that's going to give us cost. With the understanding that some of these may be like a hat could be a TAM, and then that would give us stamp. Is there something cost could become to be stamp? And does that work for the crossings? And I say that realizing that I have forgotten yet another blank bar. There we go. All right. Milton Soar with courthouse finalizing inadequate legal compensation. So I'm guessing it's the first part of this is the definition. With courthouse finalizing inadequate legal compensation. So a word for legal compensation, last letter cut off, put it before courthouse, something for courthouse. Like C, just CT maybe. And then that's going to give us Milton's Soar. What is a word for legal compensation? Restitution. It's a little long for this. Okay. Rude to leave banknote with orangey hue. I would really like this to be ochre. Rude to leave banknote. So I wonder if maybe it's like rule instead of rude, and then that would be an R. To leave banknote, so like maybe it's a tenner and it drops the R. And that leaves us with tenna, and maybe tenna is an orangey hue like sienna. A tenne, nailed it. And so then that is going to be an L. All right, we have done very little here. Okay, so let's go first of all with 12 because 12 is employee. That is definitely going to be employee. It's higher. So how does this work? English backed premium Irish tool. So English, I think PM here is premium. Backed is going to give us the MP. So whatever Irish tool is, it's Loy. Loy in Irish is a long, narrow spade with a footrest on one side of the handle. So that is an Irish tool. That is a regular clue. T. McKay thinks they've got 43. That is executed gang member, mostly implicated in heroin training, essentially. I had assumed that we were looking at a D at the end, but it's not because you can see that it's definitely an S at the end, unless there's a conflict, which there might be. You never know. T, what do you have for the first letter of the answer? H, which would make sense. Oh, is it just hanged? I think it's just hanged. I'm just not sure what member is doing. Hell's Angel. Okay, thank you. That would allow for the H to the E to be in there as well. That's kind of weird. I'm surprised that they're using Angel as gang member. Um, a Hell's Angel. It's actually in here as a Hell's Angel. Definition number 13 in the Chambers Dictionary for angel. Well, except there is no question mark on this one. And then this is going to be SD, and we're going to make this a 12 as well. Oh, hence your question mark. Got it. So yeah, it does appear to be hanged. Okay, so let's see. Maid's note replacing priest's last letter. That's going to go here. Actually, let's do this one 30. I don't know. All right, so I want this to be policewoman and for this to be oust. Let's first of all take a look at oust because I'm pretty sure that that's correct. Hire Tesla to follow men in East London. So hire, I think here is going to be fire. And then I'm guessing OU is it's a man. Um, Technically South Africa. I don't know if there's an East London in Africa as well, in South Africa, but that appears to be oust and with the F as the correct answer there, which is weird because you got LF here. I'm guessing that it's going to be self. So I'm guessing meat, box full of junk in meat. And then we would need an sax professionals would be this one, if that is the case. So, oh no, 12th. This is going to be 12th. This is going to be wax, meat, and doubly tailed. East London is a place in South Africa. Okay, so there we go. So 12th, and what are we getting from these letters? So probably 12th row. And something column, except the DG there is not really helping. And I'm pretty sure that that G is correct. I'm pretty sure that it is rug. All right, so let's, knowing this, so wax professionals observed endless amount of professionals, amount of pressure. What could that be? First of all, what would wax professionals be? I mean, I'm guessing wax and professionals are going to be split here. I think it's going to be wax, maybe as our definition. And then doubly tailed, where to plot older plants. Almost like liana, maybe? Law be better. Oh yeah, law would be a lot better. Why am I thinking lax profession? Thank you, Rain. Hello, how are you doing? So law professionals. Uh, let's see, bar is Barca a amount of pressure? Maybe fat fingers. Maybe a berry. Uh, there's a lot of things to try to look up right now. Beria. Oh, Beria. Eyed. Observed is eyed, E-Y-E-D. And endless means that we're getting rid of both letters. So then it's going to be bar plus yei, and that Beryi is in fact a unit of pressure. "31 down theory, could cast be stamped?" Yes, it could. Cast would work perfectly with that. And that is looking even worse for some sort of meaningful message. Except, unless it's diagonal. This has got to be diagonal. We're going to need an I here, A here. In which case, Ling harmony? I don't like that. I'm gonna pull those out, but I'm thinking that that's it. Is diagonal. 12th row diagonal would give us how many letters overall? That's 7, 7, 10, 18. And we need a total of 22. So I'm guessing that the other two are going to be the direction. So it's going to be NESW or NWSE for the other diagonal, for the diagonal. I mean. So I think that that helps because that's going to help us um, figure out the rest of these because we know what the letters are most likely going to be, which we need all the help we can get because, good Lord, this is a very empty grid. Let's take a look. I know I want this to be policewoman. I just can't figure out how. 30 down. Adjustment of rug, leaving transformational. That's going to be tuning, turning, run. Rug to run, and that is a word that can be represent the letter R as opposed to rug. And then that is going to be turning to tuning. And that is our answer there. This is probably going to be mini. Report of trench mortar, possibly a weight on newsman's shoulder. So mini is probably our definition here, possibly a weight on newsman's shoulder for minicam. How does the rest of it work? Like I kind of want it to be MINNIE or something like that, as like it's a homophone for that. Minnie is a mother, Scottish. Oh, Minnie. Here we go. In soldier slang, I can't even tell if I'm putting it right up in the spot. Here we go. So one of the definitions down there is in fact trench mortar for Minnie. So that is going to work. And that does not require a letter change. Okay. Um, this 41 across, maid's note replacing priest's last letter. So E is a note. E is one of the 7 notes in just regular letter note system. So I think what we want is a word for priest that ends with NN something other than E. A bone with an E is a maid. It's a French maid. Bonnie with a Y does not work. Also, I do want that to be A. So it's going to be an A there or an E. Probably E, now that I think about it. So that's going to leave penne, which of course is pasta. Rene, which is run. Tene, which is the color that we mentioned before. Bene, which is sesame. None of those work. All right, so getting nowhere with that. 36 across. Deserted department after copier abruptly hummed. I want that to be droned because that would work for hummed. Deserted department. If that is droned, then 33 has to be blank D blank blank H, which is really nasty. But if courthouse might be CH, then maybe 33 down ends with CH and it's that's Milton Soar or whatever that might actually be, which I think is actually going to be it because I want that to end NAL. So the first part of it would have to be legal compensation, but minus the last letter. I'm going to just check to see if there's anything for DCH. No, there's not. So we're back to 36. Deserted department after copier abruptly hummed. Department can be D, right? So maybe it's CU. So maybe it is a well, no, it wouldn't be a letter change because we have to. Ugh. So if it's going to be row or N or S or E or W, then copier can't become copper. So I think no matter what, we're not looking at copier changing. Deserted could be the definition. It could be like ruined or something like that, or marooned or ruined. I don't think that that would work. But then how would the wordplay work? Even assuming that there's an O or W going into that clue, I don't see how that's gonna work. All right, 35. We have the U. That's not that helpful. But dam approach that succeeded for a Republican. It's either going to be an O or a W going in there if there is a letter change. W would work for dawn. And so a 5 letter word for dawn that is approach with S for W. Arch Davidson got. Oh, if you type in G at this point, do try to type in the clue number. But I'm assuming that you're talking about 35. Um, am I correct? It's a 5 letter word for dawn. Arch. Oh, it's all good. I'm all over the place right now, so it's one of the things that's probably makes it difficult for everyone else to follow along. 5 letter dawn. S for L. S for R. Sun up. Sun up and run up. Okay, there we go. Thank you for the help there. All right, so if that's W, this is going to be O. Is lobation or port a thing? Takes could be recipes. 'Cause I know that that is a weird thing. But libation, I don't think is anything. Lobation? Lobation is a thing. And if it's lobation from libation, that means whatever the word for chief is would have to include that O. And since it's not lob, it is in fact going to be oba, which is a chief. And Steven says, is that what you had earlier? Because I think that you had figured that clue out or figured out something about that clue. And I feel bad that we did not go back to it. All right. It's good that we have the B and the 7, B and the H here, because that's going to help. But I still don't think that we have enough to get it. I mean, it could be birch. What's the definition again? That's Milton's sword. That might be enough to get it. Because I feel like it's going to be like bench or something like that. So beach. And whatever we're looking for here is going to be like poetic or it's going to reference Milton somehow. But so far not seeing anything. Botch is, according to Milton, a boil, pimple, or sore. So it's going to be botch. How does that work, though? It's courthouse, CH, finalizing inadequate legal compensation. So there's got to be a word for legal compensation that is BOT blank. Um, BOTB is the British Overseas Trade Board. I don't think that would work. Boat with an E, BOTE, is compensation for injury or damage to a property. So that is going to be botch, and we have that one. Yay. And that is regular. All right. This one is O blank blank NED, unless there's a crossing there that messes things up. 27 down? Is that possible to get? Maybe 37? Sorry if I feel like sorry, I know I'm jumping around quite a bit. I am this is synchronized, I think. And there's going to be a clash there. Does that work? Having uncovered nostrils. Got 4D with one look help. That is stunning. One look was actually useful for something. Which I mean, it sometimes is. I will say, like I feel bad. Symphonized. How about symphonized? Rain, do you have symphonized? No. 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2. Are the letters that are given correct? I think I might have it, and good Lord, holy cow. It's an anagram of long harmony, isn't it? Or ling harmony. Like the actual definition is having uncovered nostrils. Gymnorhinal. Gymnorhinal is with unfeathered nostrils. Wow. Okay. I was way off. Gymnorhinal. It's rough, but it's I. To me, it's certainly like the epitome of what the listener is. I'm not mad about it. All right, so Texas remounts. Island without heating when Queens returned. I know I want that to be heading, so we're just going to put that as heading. Heading. Um, yeah, it's a cool word. It's a very cool word. What on earth is 17? I feel like there's going to be a clashing there. Let's just check to see if there's anything that matches that letter pattern. Cobnut. Children's game played with nuts. So that would be it. It'd be Cobnut. How does that work? Because there's no letter change in this. So, American man in Revolution imprisoned by King of England. I'm going to put Cobnut in. I have no idea how this works. American man could be bow, reversed. It's in Revolution. Imprisoned by King of England would be C-nut. Is C-nut a thing? I feel like it's got to be an abbreviation for something. It's the name of a king. King Canut. It's a very unfortunate name. Just has a very, very. Canut, also known as Knut the Great, was king of England from 1016, king of Denmark from 1018, and king of Norway till from 1028 until his death in 1035. While those three kingdoms were united under his rule, they were referred to together as the North Sea Empire. All right. Well, good for him. A little overly ambitious there, if you ask me. Viking King. Okay. Well, you learn something new every day. So that is going to be Cobnut. At least the bow I knew. Born in Arizona, moved to Caledonia. Knut. Nice, nice Steve Martin reference there. All right. Let's see. Lord in ecstasy, round companion is die. I think. I think die basically is like I don't know. Because I think Lord is DI, ecstasy is E, and we don't need a change there. It's a stamp. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, unfortunately. So I don't think I have that right. I'm assuming it is not. It is not die then. If because Marky V says he's got it. 14 is a double definition for spam. So I'm going to ask the stupidest question ever. Marky V, what do you have for the first letter for 19? D. Okay, so it is die. Okay. 21. Watercolorist, briefly try crooked braid. I kind of want this to be knackers, Nakers, Nacres. But I'm also trying to figure out what this is right here and how this works. Because I want it to be Bermuda. That would not make any sense at all, would it? So let's check chambers to see what we can find that matches that letter pattern. Although I'm guessing there might be a conflict in here. Bemuds. So bemuds it's archaic. It's to bespatter with mud. Um, Bermuda, without heading, that doesn't make sense. Remuda is a supply of remounts on a ranch. Okay, so I see how it's done now. So it's Bermuda minus the first B minus its heading, and then you reverse the ER to get RE, and then Remuda is in fact a thing. Y'all got that? Okay. Still don't know about Reddist. Um, still have we have one more letter here. One of these has an O. That's it. That's actually kind of insane. I think shoes. I think it's going to be this one right here. I think it's going to be shoes. So 22 down is this one right here. We know that we want C to be at the start of it. Party insurance. I want party to be due, but I can't imagine that CDO is the start of anything. Kadop. Yeah, no matches there. Cooper's. Not be it. Chopin's. Are high clogs. So Chopin's. Hop is a party and insurance is INS, so it's Chopin's. All right. And I see what the 40 is going to be. That is O, and that means the rest of these are normal. So let's see. Hawk primarily is me. Okay, so I see it. It's going to be Hawk is the author of the puzzles. So that's me. Uh, primarily roaming is the R. Deep ravine is a Lin, and then that's going to be Merlin for wizard. So that's our W. There's got to be something else going on here. 25. Old letter to enclose in Horth. I kind of want that to be EHGHTH. Like, I think that might end with GHTH. And it's just a term for a little horse. A height. Let's try eighth. I'm not seeing anything for eighth that refers to it being a horse. A bit of a whistle there, huh? But I think that's got to be right because it's ETH to enclose in growth hormone. Yeah, it's eighth. Okay, so stop making old Moravian search arcade. That's going to be an N here, and it's going to be obscure. How does that work? I have no idea, but that is correct. Which means that we're looking at the southwest northeast diagonal. So that is going to be an E right here. Um, care, wheels, kill in the trenches, maybe. Cert. Let's leave that out actually. Um, but I do want that to be it. Doubly tailed. Where to plot older plants. That's on a graph, doubly tailed. So you're removing the last letter of on a graph twice to get onagra, which I'm assuming are an old type of plant. I should be able to just get that one from lookup, even though I have no idea how it's working. Napu is to kill. It is World War One slang. Uh, and I think what the way it's supposed to work is that nap, I think, is meant to be care. Let's try care. Could be cert. So I'm not saying anything under either, but it's definitely gonna be Napu. But wheels were in fact the OO. It's just the kill in the trenches was the actual definition. All right. There's nothing there. This is, I think, going to be rickrack. Watercolorists briefly try crooked braid. Um, Rickrack, a decorative braid in even zigzag form or open work made from it. So that is a crooked braid. Um, I just don't understand how the wordplay on this works. But I think I'm going to go, just put that in as rickrack. You think it's cert, not care? Uh, Very possibly. Fortunately, I think we just need the word, the entry. That is normal. Okay. And now we're doing much better. We just get this portion of the grid to go. We do still have some changes here. Southwest to northeast is going to cover this, and 12th row is going to cover this. And so far, the changes have only been there, there, and there. It might be that. Oh yeah, so watercolors would be RI, and then try would be crack, minus the K. 37. Irish mobs, typically concealed, shed from Spanish lady. Want that to be Arga, and I can't tell you why. I would like it to be I would like it to be moss, Irish moss. Maybe alga? Is alga a like? I know alga is a moss, but I'm not sure about like Arga. Maybe let's try anything with that GA. Alga is the only thing. So that would be moss. Typically concealed, shed from Spanish lady. Why sobs? I mean, the problem is that I'm not sure what the rest of the clue is doing. Um, Irish moss is a type of seaweed, so then alga. Okay, so yeah, S moss would work. Tau it. So 27 down. Scots snarled as circled by honey possum. And there's no letter change here. And I think that's kind of the weird thing is that there's no letter change. Kind of wanted to be toss it. Tot it is tot it is an adjective for tangled in Scottish. So that works for the definition. I'm just not sure. I'm guessing oot might be another way to say as, and then Tate is the honey possum. Tate is a honey possum. Okay, so yeah, Tate. And then oot, I think, can just substitute in for as in occasions, like Latin for as or something like that. All right, then 38. Primate, twice changing uniform to one or another. So that is going to be tutu, I think, and we're going to get titi, which is a primate. I think I don't. It's kind of a weird cluing there. Maybe I don't have it quite right, but I'm pretty sure that that is correct. Let's see. Deserted department after copier abruptly hummed. I still want it to be police woman or police women, but then that would mean it'd have to be like ozoned or something like that. Opined is not it. Omened, no. Opened. Opened at least feels like it's closer to deserted. Department after copier abruptly hummed. It could be that we have a conflict here as well, because nothing works with O and O there. Let's see, Zabizi Dam. So this is one where we actually had like a Kabira, I think was the name of the band, the dam. I mean, um, serve defunct bar to brace a. I think it's Kabira. I think that that is going to be a conflict. I think that that is going to be like that, which is even worse because that's looking even just more horrible. Um, because the obeyed is the only like the ob and n like it's going to be one pair of those. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm running into so many like issues with the letters I have at this point. Ren and run are basically they're Spencerian words for running, as well as papping apparently. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go some. I'm gonna go something really crazy here. I'm gonna go policewoman. I think that that is correct. I'm gonna go droned here, for lack of a better definition. Because I think it's one of those, but I can't figure it out exactly. That is looking nasty though. All right, so let me put here 12th row SWNE diagonal. Figure out what we're supposed to do next. Okay, along these locations and 10 more joining paired letters therein to show a thematic construction. You must draw the straight lines, leaving letters legible. Each of a series of clashes must be replaced with a third letter, making new words to spell an associated name. Okay, so I think this is going to be B, because that works. Let's go ahead and make a coloration here. And we'll do this in each of the ones. Okay, I'm going to do R there because I think hanger and readier are the only thing that work. Tsitsi. I didn't think that there was another possibility for tsitsi. It can be Z. That's good to know. Zabira, let's check Zabira for a moment, is not in the dictionary. In fact, nothing is. D, Ronio plus D. Apparently the old clunk of clunk copiers. All right. So copier abruptly would be Ronio. Department after drop. So deserted, I guess, would just be D here. It's kind of weird. Thank you for the help there, Marky V. That wants to be a Z. I bet this is Bezier, because that's a Z. Yeah, that's an unfortunate word there. Um, and this is a reference to a Bezier curve. But that is Kabira. And I don't think that would be Iband. Yeah, something else is going on here, because that was droned. Kariba might help if I could spell. And then Zariba. Let's check to see if Zariba is a thing. Zariba is, in fact, it says in Sudan, it's a stockade, thorn hedge, etc., protecting from against wild animal or enemies. All right, so then we've just got an E somewhere, and I'm guessing it's this E down here. I'm guessing that was supposed to be like some other word, like policewoman, because I never did figure out what that is. Um, but I'm guessing that's A or O, like bone going this way and woman going down this way. Instead, we get police women, and that is going to be another. Let's go here to fill. And then we want that to be a 12. No other reason than. All right. And then we need some lines, so time to go for line making. insert, no, why am I not seeing lines? Shapes. We'll go like that. Make that nice and big. And red. I'm going to do the same thing from here to here. I'm going to make that big and red. Okay. And I think that might be it. Oh, 10 more paired letters therein. I'm not even sure how to draw this. Like, are we saying within Polt's hanger and... Oh, yeah, because that's mostly the same letters, isn't it? So if we connect here to here, connect here to here, make this red as well, make this red as well. And then we'll just do this for each one of these. It's going to look a little funky. For that, I do apologize. Drawing in Excel is not my best, is not my, it's not in my wheelhouse. And there we go. And the letters that were clashes basically form Bezier curve, and that is a Bezier curve. That is really neat. I will say that is this was a tough puzzle to say the least. Um, the clues were definitely challenging, and I will bring up the remaining clues so we can see how they work. Because I think they're all normal at this point. There are two that are supposed to have some extra definitions, I think, and we didn't. I did not quite get that. I knew cross border was one of them. So let's go ahead and pull up listener list of puzzles 2022 4718, sorry, 4719 notes. And let's see, let's hide this Excel sheet. Let's hide this Excel sheet. And bring this up. All right. Corrections to the misprint in the clues spelled out 12th row, SWNE. Diagonal straight lines were drawn to link matching letters in these lines, the boundaries producing an approximation of a Bezier curve. Letters representing clashes along the curve spelled Bezier. Definitions in 19 across and 39 across refer to the entered answer with CAD and CAM added to computer applications that use Bezier curves. So 19 across, I think 39 across was the mini CAM. So 39 was mini CAM. That was our special one there. Then 19 across. Oh, die CAD. Or no, caddy. A round companion is a caddy. That is the definition there. Okay. That's nice. That is really nice. I like that. Onagra was correct. Reverie, Barry, employ. Uh, spam was two meetings, which I thought was nice. T after hours. Tense, recrack, sector. Not seeing too much. Yeah, in can be I, and that does sometimes throw things off. Um, D plus D after Romeo. Hidalga minus Hid. Holy cow. That's how that one works. So Spanish lady was Hidalga. Where is that one? And then concealed is hid. Hid shed from Hidalga is alga. Uh, bonds. What the hell is that? Maid's note replacing priest's last letter. So I guess bones is a word for priest, and you're replacing the Z in bones with, because that's the last letter of the alphabet, with N for note. And that's going to give you bone, which is a maid. You got that? All right. Bermuda, Arabic, obscure. Obscure was oboe with skir for O. Stop making old Moravian. Yeah, I don't even get that. Arcane was definitely the definition. That was obscure. And I'm guessing stop was oboe, but you're then making O skir, which I guess is a Moravian word for search. Holy cow. Cert and nap are both a sherbet in horse racing. That is good to know. So it was cert. Arabic, Jim O'Rhinal, Remuda, Mahdi. Policewoman. So policewoman was correct. There was no letter changes in here. Prudence, I guess, was policy minus the Y. English is E. Side of Britannia, women. I just don't think I'm getting that one. I don't think I'm understanding it even with the explanation. I think the Gill is like if we said Angie Dickinson, policewoman, or Pepper, you're going undercover, that seems sort of like concept. Gill is obscure slang for a policewoman. Of course it is. All right. Gru taught it. Kariba, tuning, stamp, botch, and tenor. All right. Overall, I think that was a very successful puzzle. I'm not entirely happy with the bitch in there, but it is a lot more acceptable than some other words that I've seen. No, definitely don't get your gymnorhinal mixed up with gymneural. That is a good bit of advice there, Marky B. All right, folks, I am going to take off. I have a lot of answers still to write. Folks, thank you so much for joining. I will be back next Wednesday. We are currently going through enigmas, past enigmas. And since we finished up March, that means next Wednesday is going to be the April Fool's edition of the Enigma. Every year, the Enigma contains a series of flats called Ralphs. These are ones where April foolery is all throughout, and so it should be a very confusing stream. So be sure to come back here on Wednesday for that. And beyond that, thank you so much, and I will see you all later. Ciao, everybody.